Hi, hello, namaste, and welcome to our latest podcast, Logistics Pe Charcha. I am Prajakta Karnik, editor, Logistics Outlook magazine, and today we have with us a young and dynamic leader, Mr. Fardeen Malbarwala. He is the director of Galaxy Freight. Welcome, Fardeen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prajakta. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. I would like to understand from you first about Galaxy Freight and your entry into this space.
Okay. So we go back 16 years to speak about my entry into this space. Galaxy Freight is a company which my father has formed with the support of my grandfather. He started his career in a bank, and after being in the industry for close to 10 years, a friend of his told him that, listen, Afzal, it's time for you to, branch out and, start your own. And with the loan from my grandfather or the seed investment from my grandfather, in 1988, he set out on his route to starting a company which is called as Speed Cargo Movers. It's a company which we still have, but that's more of sentimental value. And then in 1995, Galaxy Freight was born. At that time, forming a private limited company was done to mitigate risk. In 1997, we received our IATA, and I joined close to the 2008-2009 mark when I finished my master's. The world went into a recession. So the only company that ever gave me a job was Galaxy Freight. So 16 years later now, I was always the boss's son. But then on paper, I started as an executive, and then I grew into a key accounts manager. I was the marketing director for a very long time, where sales and marketing would report into me directly. And now I am a full-time director for the last 2 years. Okay. That's my story in a gist.
So you said that you started at a time when there was a recession.
Yeah.
How has that been? I mean, so many years now. So what has been, what kind of changes have you seen?
It's an ever dynamic industry. I have seen the world stop because there is ashes in the sky. Somebody sneezed in some part of the world and the world went into hiding. There was a ship which got stuck in the middle of the ocean, and then, there was chaos in the global supply chain.
Yeah.
And then now I don't know how to put it, but I feel somewhere we are in the middle of World War III. And, there are every single day you get up, there is something new happening. But what I've understood is this is also the show must go on.
Absolutely.
You need to be agile, and then, when there is a little bit of unrest or turmoil, a lot of opportunity follows.
So talking about turmoil, we have seen a lot of things happening in the last few months. Everyone, thinking about what the reciprocal tariff would be, how things will pan out. China getting a lot of, sort of punishment kind of tariffs, then that's been taken back. So initially when it was, China was being slapped with that kind of tariff, India was positioned as a, go-to country. Now what is the situation since it's been, sort of taken back? How do you see India position in all this?
So I think the story goes back to COVID, when the world said that they need to have a more robust supply chain where you cannot depend on China so much that, if China shuts down, you do no longer function. That is, you got the ball rolling of having an alternate supply chain model. Two countries which are really benefiting out of this strategy is, one is Vietnam, one is India. India, by the grace of God, is in the right place at the right time with the right mindset. You can feel in terms of the government, the foot is on the pedal. We are building ports, we're building new airports, we're building every day, we are building newer roads. Logistics cannot happen without the right infrastructure. A factory can be set up, but if you do not have the means to move the goods, it's of no use. So think of logistics as the central nervous system. And India is really investing into this. So coming back to what is happening in the last couple of years or few months, I definitely see a lot of change. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera, but I'll say I love Donald Trump. Keep the tariffs going. It makes things better, easier for India. But I don't like this comparison of India with China. I think India has its own story. China has its own greatness. It's not easy to manufacture at the level which they do, but then we have our own story. We are not trying to be China. We are trying to be India. And we are trying to grow from there. You see that we've just signed let's speak about what's happening in the last 6 months. There is India signed a free trade agreement with UK. That's a very big thing. That's a very, very big thing. William Port at Willingham, I can't pronounce it, but in the south of India is operational.
Yes.
We have our own deep water port. We are going to be a transshipment hub. Now, let's go back to our original comparison. China has in the world's top 10 seaports. China maybe has 5 in there.
Yes.
So we are now getting there. We have Nhava Sheva, we have Mundra, but then now we have one more, and then we're building another one, Vadwan. So, and then the number of ICDs we have in the north of India, oh my God, at every nook and corner, as a company, it becomes increasingly difficult just to keep track. We have to work out of this as well, we have to work out of this as well. And then the rail network, which is being built with a double stacker train, it's amazing. There is a planned infrastructure push. And it is now, we are coming into the phase where we are seeing it materialize. Things are being delivered. So it's a very exciting and fun time to be in. Of course, we have challenges as well. We have the tariffs. But then these are things which are beyond my control to, so to say, right? I am too small of a pea in the ocean, right? So my role is to adapt to it. So like when there is an announcement of a tariff and then there is a 90-day period, people are rushing to send their goods. So, at that time, my job is to find space at the right value. You need to get your goods there in time, but you can't, it's not budgeted that, you'll be paying 3 times the freight. So it keeps on changing. But then there's a lot of opportunity, as I mentioned.
Absolutely. You mentioned about the free trade agreement with that
United
we signed with Europe, and we have been signing so many free trade agreements with many countries. How do you see that helping India in improving the trade?
Essentially, now, first thing what a free trade agreement does now, it sort of makes it compulsory for India to reduce its dwell time. India's rating in the logistics index has gone much higher because these trade treaties now, what they do is they push India to reduce dwell time from 48 hours to 24 hours. At the start of my career, if I had to have an export custom cleared in maybe 24 hours or an import custom cleared in 2 days, I would get a pat on my back. In today's date, if I do it anything less than 30 minutes, it's a job done wrong. That's the difference. These treaties do push India to reduce its dwell time, adopt global standards, and also it facilitates trade. Now, the one before UK was, the significant one before UK was Australia. It does not happen that, I have signed a free trade treaty today and then, tomorrow morning. It attracts people, buyers from there to visit India, come source factories, set up the supply chain. Liners have to open direct connections. Airlines have to go there directly. You have to reduce the transit time. But then over a period of time, trade increases. The reliance on both each other increases. So be so sure that, let me give you an example. In this IPL, you'll see a lot of batters using a Cobra bat. That's an Australian bat. That would be because of, the free trade agreement. It's cheaper to get that in India now. But then India is the best bat manufacturer in the world.
Absolutely. Freight rates have been, volatile. During COVID, we saw it, skyrocketing, and then it has come down, plateaued. What's the situation right now?
At the moment, so it's a seasonal business. At the moment, it's raining, but then we have the north of India has a lot of airspace closure. So what happens is that an aircraft will have to carry 2 tons more of fuel. That would mean lesser cargo, and then the space becomes more premium. And when so like a Delhi airport, the whole of UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, the entire North Belt just uses the New Delhi airport. So imagine the reliance on that airport, and then the capacity from there is going down. So the pressure is felt in Bombay, the pressure is felt in other parts of the country. So the freight rates are going up. But it's not, it is well within, it's not that it is going to a crazy level, but it's gone a little up. But then mainly in the peak season for air freight, which comes around maybe September, October, from there things start shooting up, is when you will see the real effect of this.
Correct. The 90 days period that we got. So you mentioned that there was a sort of a flood and everyone wanted to send their goods. How was that condition and how did you all overcome it? Was that challenging?
We did not feel the difference as much as China did. What happens is now, if China is blocking space, let's say you're using a Middle Eastern carrier into US, right? Which Middle East would be the central point. So if China is really filling it up, so onwards becomes very, really difficult. But then the carriers would fly direct from India into US.
Okay.
So India really did not feel too much of a pinch there, or maybe we felt the pinch for maybe a week. It was China who had mainly the issue with space.
Of your entire business, how much is your focus on air and ocean?
We were born as an air freight forwarder, and to date air is at heart. But then we have no mugs in sea freight. We do decently well in sea freight as well. In today's world, you cannot have that I'm only an air player or I'm only an ocean player. You need to be a jack of all trades.
I just wanted to understand one aspect of it. Recently, we saw MSC liner capsized in Kerala. What's the impact on the shippers? And what's the next thing? Because 30 containers, they sunk. So in that situation, what's the challenges that as freight forwarders also and for the shippers also?
So I think it's a great learning in terms of having the right insurance. A lot of the small time forwarders do not even have their BL insured. Now, if you are in that situation and the ship has capsized, you are in for a lot of trouble. A lot of the shippers do not really purchase the right insurance. I think the lesson to be learned here is about mitigating your risk and buying the right insurance or having your goods insured. Because if you are insured, you are not really now in as much of a trouble as you would be vis-a-vis saying that, oh, I do not have insurance, or I have an insurance that only covers like a third party insurance, right? You need to be fully insured. And then if you have that, then you are in a much better position. In terms of the impact, I feel there's a lot of oil spillage. There were some DG containers, and then these things are of great worry because when you need to really have that proper cleanup channel now, so that it doesn't affect the natural elements around us. That's the most important thing, because we need to have a world where both of us survive.
Okay. Talking about cargo insurance, how aware is the industry? You also mentioned that it's the BL is not being insured. So is there that the awareness is very less in this, or they are aware of it, but cost is a concern?
Some things you only learn with experience. Now, those who have experienced, been in good situations, I'm sure their BLs are insured and then they have done the necessary to mitigate their risk. But then there are a lot of new players who do not know anything. There's no formal learning in this industry. There's nobody, like when I'm thinking of my diploma in customs clearance and freight forwarding, or the executive education which I've attended, barring one program which spoke about insurance, not really. There is a lot of insurance, pushing you to take the right insurance. Even with shippers, there are many times when it's all about just cutting cost. So there are times when the big ones, they would have these rolling policies, but then the smaller ones need to be really educated in this sense.
Even the same is the case in air freight?
Everywhere. When I say even road freight, when things are, let's say, moving from a Delhi to a Cochin, not a lot of people prefer to buy insurance because they see it as an add-on cost. But then, what if things go wrong? That's when you need to have the right insurance.
Talking about innovations and technology, how are freight forwarders, more aware of it, and how much has technology entered in this industry?
That's a curveball, but let me try to answer that to the best of my ability. The more you grow, the more you feel that you need systems in place, or how do you manage your workflow without having the right system, right? So your dependency on your operating system or your technological element grows. The environment around us is changing. Like all the liners, all the airlines they are being pushed by countries to bring in, to have a pre-manifest of data. What are you bringing in? We need to know that, and then we need to have a situation where we match what is your data with what is being declared, right? So we have to file manifest in advance. These all demand us to up our technology game. Then there is the whole new generation school of AI. When I sit down and think what will be my customer, maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, the Gen Z or the Gen Alpha, which I do not really understand, don't like speaking to people. So far it's always been a very people oriented business. They want an app where you go there, you have customer support on the app. They don't want to be speaking to you, they want to having a chat. So things are changing, and then if your customer is demanding a different mindset, you adapt. In terms of AI, I still feel, I want to wait a year for this tech to cook and then go buy something which is ready off the shelf instead of being a guinea pig at this moment.
Correct. How do you perceive security in cargo needs to be secured? What's the kind of importance that actually we give when it comes to securing the cargo or securing the space where we store those?
I think compliance drives it. Security is very, very important. Security is not negotiable. And then there is compliance to it. It is tied to compliance. So if let's say you're a GDP certified agent or you're an IDA-C, these are two examples that come to my mind. So you need to have a written track of where the goods have been, there has to be controlled environment. You need to have a SOP that defines the environment. So, and security plays a big part in that. And it's the most important element in my personal point of view, because goods do have a great value, and not just pilferage, or also just the chances of them getting damaged. They cannot be reproduced as easy. So that's what I think.
On sustainability front, how sustainable is the logistics industry today, and also how sustainable is Galaxy Freight?
So sustainability is a subject which is very, very close to our heart. I had learned about the Kyoto Protocol way back in my university. I am talking 2003, 2004. So I've been tracking this subject for a very long time. I personally read a lot about the Sustainable Development Goals, the ESG. One message which I would want to send out to the young audience who may be listening is that sustainability is not just about being carbon neutral. So as a freight forwarder now, I am very much defined by what my vendors, what my customers, or what the customs is doing, right? If an airport needs a carting copy to be printed and sent, I will print it and send it. If a shipper says, boss, Fardeen, I need an air bill to be printed, stamped, signed, send it back to me, okay. I do not say no, right? But then when an airline says, listen, Fardeen, I am giving you the carbon footprint and you need to share it with your customers, I will definitely do that, because at heart I also want to be leaving a place good enough for my children to survive in. But then that's not being carbon neutral, is just one part of sustainability. There are multiple elements to it. Equal opportunity, save water, or maybe whatever makes you feel that okay, you're contributing to the society. At Galaxy Freight, we feel that it is our role that to create employment. We are going in markets where there are newer airports. We are supporting the initiatives. It need not mean that I am laughing to the bank, but then I am supporting initiatives. I am supporting when there is infrastructure being built. You need users. You need people to be there. If not, then if the ecosystem doesn't support, then how does it work? A lot of my life has been spent playing sports. So I really want to be able to give back in terms of sports. So at heart, we really want India to win more gold medals. We really want to supporting there. I don't want to give you an answer by telling you, "Hey, listen, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." I know that's not the right. But then I'm trying to give you a definition of what the sustainability means to us. Like in terms of time spent, I'll give you an example. My father, he joined an organization which would teach IT to kids, right? So next thing I know, him on a Sunday afternoon at 11 o'clock, he's on his iPad with 250 students and somebody is giving a lecture, and then at 69 he's trying to understand it and he's giving feedback that what you're doing is right or wrong. But then that's the kind of time and effort we are investing. It's not just about, okay, you sign a check and then that's about it. So sustainability, and then also we want to build a company that is sustainable. Truly sustainable, we want to survive 100 years. So we are, you need to have a rock solid foundation. You need to, you need to measure your risk, or you need to, just have that mindset first. So that's what we are doing. We are not in a state where we will be like a paper-free organization by the next 2-3 years. But then we certainly hope that we are trying to do our bit. And that's about it. When we want to punch above our weight, so to say.
I missed asking you this question earlier when you were talking about infrastructure. Ports we are seeing being developed. How about the airports and terminals? So what's the progress in that?
I think the two big ones which are going to happen is the Navi Mumbai airport. On the side note, we already have a huge office there. And then Jewar. I think the north of India really needs more airports. What I read last, there are 56 new airports coming into India. And slowly, one by one, you are seeing the effect of the newer airports. I think closer to home, Navi Mumbai Airport will be a great boost to the infrastructure. More airlines will fly in, more freighter capacity, and then you are right next to Nhava Sheva. So anything sea, it will not take days to transfer. It should be like a day or something like that. And we can also piggyback on a lot of the CFS infrastructure which is already there. So it should be exciting times.
So the target that we have, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has set for air cargo, do you think that is achievable? And
what's the target?
10 trillion billion tons.
I think the Honorable Prime Minister would have definitely set the target with the research being backed by research. I don't know if it is achievable, not achievable, but then I would do everything in my power to make the dream come true. We are a team.
What's the way forward for Galaxy Freight?
I should not be taking this long to answer this. But so in terms of our vision, we want to be a global logistics provider. We want to expand within India. I think India is the right, as I mentioned, is the right time. So we want to really make use of the infrastructure we have here and the strength which we build here and grow on that. That's a big part of our strategy. And we also would love to be one of those Indian multinationals that grows abroad. We also are concentrating a lot of value-add services and trying to branch out there as well.
Okay, can you define those? And which are the regions that you would like to enter or expand in?
It's a very agile strategy now. When you see that there are newer airports coming in, just go, and then you be hardworking, and then business will follow. So one of our latest investments has been Goa. We are at Mopa Airport. We are close to Mopa Airport, which is the latest airport, and then the infrastructure is good. We've invested significantly at the Navi Mumbai Airport. We have a huge warehouse, we have a bigger office there. So those are the things that we are doing. And then as closer to as Jewar launched it, we will have an office there as well. So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to align ourselves with the infrastructure projects which are being built, so that we are able to make hay while the sun shines.
So is there any segment that you feel that you need to be there and you're not there currently? Just to...
It's easier for me to tell you what I don't do. Presently, I don't do perishables.
Okay.
Food logistics is something which I have shied away from a very long time. But then other than that, pharmaceuticals, automotive, fashion, engineering, consumer goods, there are ultimately many. And it's the focus, from what I've learned from my colleagues in China, is that you become trade lane specialist. So you say, okay, let's pick India, UK. Okay, so you need to be a specialist there, and then so you go out and you buy the space, and then or you just focus on that. So but then again, for me, it's all about agility. When the opportunity arises, I should be able to do it. If I don't want to be having very rigid systems, because the environment is very fluid. Tomorrow morning somebody can wake up and say that, okay, 200% duty from India. Then what do we do?
And then there are sanctions.
Yeah, the sanctions. But you need to have agility. You need to be in a situation where you're able to respond well to market dynamics. Be something as simple as having a cloud-based ERP. When the world shuts down, you switch on. Oh, okay, hello. As simple as that.
What's keeping you away from perishables?
Payments. One of the big curses of our industry is, you're never paid on time, and which is very, I don't know, it's not a very nice thing to do. You are expected to ask for your money, which you should be paid.
In terms of investments, or probably on the top line growth, what kind of, percentage wise, the kind of growth that you're seeing, and the market share probably? I mean, if you're comfortable talking about it.
I'm too small for market share. I'm just, I think in the whole of India, we are not having 1% market share. So that's not a relevant question to me. But then I can't answer your question in terms of top line, because, we are significantly investing in, my role is new product development. That means I'm being given a budget every year, okay, go burn this money, try and find something new. That's how it is, and then you invest in 10 to work, and okay, you're happy. But then don't put this in the interview.
Absolutely.
But I can't really, in terms of top line and all, we are in an investment stage. We are saying,
Okay, being a second generation young entrepreneur, what would be your advice to the second generation which is coming in? Because we have seen new faces coming into it, is the young blood coming especially into the technology aspect of it. Freight forwarding, hardcore business, if we are seeing very few people, what would be your advice?
Somehow I feel that a lot of the new generation is going away from this industry. It's one of the last industries that also works on a Saturday. And a lot of the new generation doesn't really want to work on a Saturday. Right. So my advice to the younger generation coming in would be that, carve out your own space. Don't try and, but then don't be extremely aggressive. Take your time to learn the trade. There's an interview by Jack Ma, which I really has a place in my heart. Where, he says that, between 20 and 30, you learn ops. Between 30 and 40, you try and expand. Between 40 and 50, you start handing it over. Between 50 and 60, retire. So take that, but then do things that inspire you, bring in your own flavor, don't try and, but then don't be in a rush to change things. That's what I would advise.
Thanks a lot for giving us your time, and
My
thank
pleasure.
you very much for
Thank
this
you.
interview.
Thank you so much.